Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday and happy April. Just wild that it's gone by so quickly. We are back from Paris. As you can see, I'm wearing my Claude Monet shirt from visiting Giverny. I'm definitely mispronouncing that. I think it's Giverny, but amazing experience. We got to see the actual gardens of Monet and see where he designed the water lilies, which is by far one of my favorite Lego sets this year. So hi, Bev. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Today, we are diving into Toy Story. So we have three sets. This one is the one we're going to start working on today, which is adorable. Tomorrow, I think, on the live stream, I'm going to do 3 days this week. We're going to do Lotso. And then on Friday, we will get a start on the big guy, the Bookends, which Slinky Dog was my favorite, actually my second favorite character from the first movie back in the day. So very excited about it, and very excited that we're getting some buildable Toy Story sets as opposed to simply minifig scale. So let's dive in. Yes, lots of stuff revealed and lots of additional reveals that are going to be coming soon, I'm sure, given that June is always like a huge release of Lego sets. So very excited to hear of the things officially revealed, which ones appeal to you and which ones you're excited about. Reminder that I can't talk spoilers, but I can talk about things that have been officially revealed. So, and I'm a little behind on actually kind of what all has been happening in the last few months or the last few weeks because of our trip. So still trying to get caught up from all of that. But yeah. Hi, Bev. Hi, Missy. Hi, Brandon. Good to see y'all. Brandon, I'm assuming you've had a chance to go to the Toy Story Land stuff. Is there Toy Story Land stuff at Disneyland, or is that only in Disney World? When we went, it was 2017. So it's been quite a few years since I've been back to Disneyland, and I don't think they had all that much yet in terms of Toy Story. I think it just is the Buzz Lightyear ride that you went around and like shot at the different targets and stuff. But curious if that's grown and changed since you've been able to go back. All right, bag one. Builds our friend. So much fun. Such a cute little guy. I'd love to have three because you need a trio, of course. And then here are the stickers that we have. So 2 Pizza Planets, 1 Pizza Planet logo, a sign that says Sid was here, insert coin to play, and a little thing that's for the arcade game as well. So take a look at those. So fun. So yeah. Let's see. Toy Story Land debuted at Hollywood Studios in Orlando 2018. That's what I thought. I was going to say I thought it was at Disney World, not Disneyland. And it's been a very long time since I've been. And then Paris version debuted in 2010. Awesome. So there isn't one at Disneyland in California. Is that right? But that's interesting. But yes, I think we all need a trio of these adorable little characters. I don't feel like you can have just one of the aliens. And I remember when Lego first came out with their CMF line that had the alien in it, I sought out 3 of them so that I could have 3 in my collection, as I'm sure many, many others did as well. So very, very happy to have those minifigs from back in the day. Plus, they came out in a bunch of different sets over time too. So lots of fun. So these 2 sets, Lotso and the Alien Pizza Planet one, are listed as 9+ sets. I'm excited to see 9+ focusing on buildable sets. I think that's a really nice option for kids to kind of explore a different style of building. But I would also say, of course, those ages are a suggestion. And I suggest that adults build these because they're super fun. But yeah, I feel like we're seeing more and more of these buildable types of characters and things, which is a lot of fun. So how have y'all been? What have you been up to while I was away in Paris? We had so much fun. It was really, really wonderful to get away from life and responsibilities and just enjoy a new environment and a new culture and country, and to hear people speaking French everywhere, which I don't understand. So that was fun. Really nice, joyful experience. We really, really had a good time. It was my first trip ever to Paris. Philip had been one other time before for work, and it was a very quick trip for him. And then our friend Marianne, whose birthday it was, she'd been, this was her third trip, but the other two were loosely work related, and so not a ton of like just fun exploring. And our friend Sean, the four of us went together. Sean had been one time before, and it was when she was on a cruise, I think, that stopped in Paris for like 48 hours. So a very, very short trip. So this was nice for all of us to experience the culture and the space for a much longer amount of time, which is a lot of fun. Thank you, Bev. So they've actually faded a lot, which I'm loving the way they're fading. It was really, really bold strips of magenta and like a purpley blue color, and I'm loving how it's kind of mixing up as it fades over time. So it's been a lot of fun. I go back to my hairstylist again next week, and I might ask him to add in some additional color just to zhuzh it up a little bit. But it'll be fun to see how it mixes with all the different colors because this is the first time that I've had like these different lines and things. So let's see, what else do we have? California Adventure has Toy Story Mania and a carousel based on Woody's Roundup. I feel like that's what I've seen and experienced there. So I think that was before. Hong Kong Disneyland followed in 2011 and Shanghai Disney got theirs in 2018. Awesome. You are just full of knowledge today. Thank you for sharing. That's really cool. Um, I definitely want to go back to Disney World to experience the Toy Story Land there at some point. We won't be traveling probably for a while. Paris was quite expensive, but we knew about it for a number of years and have been planning this for a number of years. So, um, that doesn't mean it was cheap by any means, but was so much fun. We really had a blast. If you were to ask my favorite thing that we did while we were on vacation, I would probably say going to Giverny, which is where Monet lived and where he had his gardens, and he actually was a prolific gardener. So while he painted, and everybody knows him for his paintings, he painted what he gardened. So he actually created all of the gardens that he ended up painting, all those different water lilies from. And he had two sides of the property that were two different gardens. One was the water lilies gardens that of course he's really well known for, and the other was what I think they called the tulip gardens, which is interesting because it was full of a lot of different plants. So lots and lots of different flowers of all different kinds, but tulips were prominent in there. And what was really interesting to me was his approach to gardening and flowers was to mix them all up. So usually when you go to like a palace or you go to a botanical gardens or something, you'll see plants that are together strategically with regards to color and style and that kind of thing. But it's still like plots and sections where you'll see kind of like roses, for example. It might be an entire section of roses and they'll all be separated by color and by type, right? His approach was just to kind of go with whatever he felt was connecting with him and whatever he felt connected with the other colors and things. And so it ended up in a very vibrant and very different experience to see the tulip gardens in particular, but also the water lily side because of how almost chaotic it felt with the color, but chaotic in such a beautiful way. It's really hard to describe, but so incredibly cool to see in person. So it made me forever grateful that I have had the opportunity to build the water lily set just before going. And we are still, we still have about half of it to finish. And I was going to try and cram it in the week before we left, but then decided not to. And I'm actually glad I didn't because now Philip is going to build the rest of it with me. And it's even more exciting for him because he's experienced it too. And um, so that's something that's on the list of things to do, hopefully this week. Probably next week is more realistic because we want to hang it on the wall because it's so pretty, so pretty. So Lots of photos of the gardens, Bev. I have a million to share with you. So not to worry. I did a lot of like fun, silly content creation while we were there, and some of it I've got like I think 5 videos that I'm planning to share soon. I was working on editing one today with hopes of having it up today, and it's not going to happen. It's taking a lot longer than I thought, mostly because I film everything because there's so much to see, and so one entire piece of content though is going to be talking about the experience going to Giverny, so Monet's gardens, but then also going to 2 other museums in Paris that have his art on display. The first one had 40, 50 pieces, which was incredible. And we did a tour with the tour guide there. So that was really interesting. Then we went the next day to Giverny, to the actual house and everything, which was just mind blowing and so cool. This is my favorite thing I got on the trip. It's so cozy and comfortable, and it's like just gonna forever remind me of that experience. But then the day after, we went very quickly through the Orangery, which is another museum, and in that one, they have the wall to wall in an oval shaped room, um, 2 different oval shaped rooms where it's like 16-foot long stretches of his painting. And he did it in 4 canvases so that in both rooms, well, 8 canvases. So one on each wall in each of the rooms. And it's basically like a 360 painting from him. And that was his gift to the Orangery, and was his last piece that his like piece de resistance, like the main thing that he's known for now, is really that experience. So highly, highly, highly recommend, if you ever go to Paris, that you tack on a day trip to leave and go to Giverny, because it is a little ways away, and then that you go to the Orangery and experience all of that in its glory. So yeah, happy to share those pictures with you as well, at our next meeting or whatever too. Because I won't post everything, of course, but I am excited to post some of the things soon. So yeah, wonderful trip though. We had a really good time. I do think that was my favorite, was the Monet experience of it all, for sure. And then our first part of the trip, we stayed in an Airbnb that literally overlooked um, the Eiffel Tower, and that was so cool. And I would say if you ever spend the money to stay in an Airbnb like that, that you should plan to spend time at the Airbnb so that you can enjoy the view and enjoy the experience. And that's definitely something that we did. So that was really, really cool, and I'm glad that we did that for the first half of the trip, because the second half of the trip we stayed in apartments, or not apartments. We stayed in a hotel that was great, and it served the purpose that a hotel needs to serve for you, but it wasn't like a place that we hung out, which is fine because we had plenty of activities and things going on. So really, really cool. During the trip was sharing a bunch of pictures to my stories about the trip and everything, but uh, we'll be sharing more in terms of these like longer form videos, which longer form it's reels, so maximum of 3 minutes, and it'll probably be far less than that. So the thing that I'm struggling with is it's always hard for me to cut things down to a shorter length for people to see on reels or whatever. But I also know that like I'm prone to watching part of a reel and moving on once I have seen what I want to see, and so I want to make sure that what I'm sharing is stuff that people would actually enjoy watching. So oh, the joys of editing. Something I didn't really think I would spend as much time as I do in my life on now. So, but hey, it's fun. Okay, so this instruction book one was interesting because it shows bag one here on the bottom, but as you can see, we are going to need more than bag one for this character. So I'm not quite sure why it doesn't say. Yeah, this is interesting. This one shows bag 2. I feel like usually what it's supposed to show is like 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is bags 2 through 5, right? Am I mistaken with that? I feel like usually it shows instruction book 1, instruction book 2, as opposed to bags. But those are definitely pictures of the bags, so I don't know if that's a mistake, or if they're just changing the way they do them, or if I'm misremembering. But what do y'all think? Um, so yeah, incredible experience, wonderful, wonderful time. Highly recommend Paris, and highly recommend budgeting for it and doing it in a way that makes it so that you can afford the trip and have a good time with it too. Because it is a pricey city, as I mean most um, big cities can be, you know. And there's ways to do it with less cost, and there's ways to do it with more. And that's okay. So um, this was kind of a once in a lifetime trip experience for us. So we were there for our friend's birthday, and it was like a huge deal for her. And so we wanted to make sure that it was wonderful and fun and exciting, and it absolutely was. It nailed all the things we were hoping it would for the trip. So yay. Also, I highly recommend traveling with friends. So it's wonderful for Philip and I to travel as a couple. We had a lot of fun exploring the world together, and I definitely recommend that too. I think it's great, but it's also just so fun to go and travel with your friends and experience life through that lens as well. So changing up who you travel with also changes the experience of how you experience it. So lots of fun had all around. And when you go to a place where others have been before, sometimes they can help guide you on, hey, this is, you know, a really good experience. You should definitely check this out, that kind of thing. But I would also say it's really fun to go with people who haven't been and haven't experienced all the things yet either, because we all got to share in those new experiences together. So yeah. So I know that you can't like verbally respond, but curious to know what y'all have been up to in the last 2 weeks while I was out and away. If there's anything fun and exciting that you have to share, or just life things that are sometimes not necessarily fun or exciting, but they are things to share. Okay, how does this go on? Interesting. So these little side pieces that I'm building, as you can see here, the bottom, that stud on the bottom is one of the ones that have the hole in them. And then the white ones also have the holes through them. And so they create like a longer stretch that it can go through. And here you can see on the inside, in the middle, there's one of those bar pieces. So that bar piece slides into the bottom hole here, which I was not expecting. It's an interesting way to put a piece on. So you saw the Mario Galaxy movie on opening day. What did you think? What did you think? I love to go to botanical gardens and take photos. Yes, me too, Bev. We should go sometime together. Philip and I have talked about how we've never been to the Austin ones, so we absolutely need to check that out eventually. Have you been to the Austin one? So, and yeah, Brandon. So you thought it was wonderful, awesome. That's really good to hear. Philip and I saw it the day after we got home, and we're pretty jet lagged and pretty tired from the trip. But I will say I thought it was fun, and I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but I still really enjoyed it. So the first one I've actually watched numerous times because I really enjoyed and think it's funny. This one I think I might watch one other time, but it's not necessarily one that I think I'll see over and over again, and that's okay. So, but yes, it was fun. It was cute, and well done. So let's see. Life is just so exciting. I can't seem to think of anything we did. I love that. Hello, little bricks. How's it going? Not sure why that's a question. Hello. Is this thing on? Tap, tap, tap. Thanks for joining today. We are building the brand new, and will release on May 1st, Alien and Pizza Planet build that is from Toy Story, which is so fun and super nostalgic for those of us who grew up with this as children, which lots of people did. Yay! Thank you so much for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate that. Where are you from? I'm curious always to know kind of where people are around the globe, and what brought them to the page. So, but very happy to have you here. It's a good community of wonderful people who are very supportive and kind and friendly and fun. We go live every week on Wednesdays. Around the same time frame, and then some weeks like this week I actually will go live multiple days in a row. So this week I am, and that is to in order to build out all of these Toy Story sets. So awesome, Northern California on the coast. Good stuff. Well, it's nice to have you here. Thanks for joining. Um, Always fun to meet new people through the internet. Okay, I am a little confused. I think I did something wrong, so let me figure that out real quick. Oh, I think I missed. Goodness, I was in such a hurry. Yeah, I missed a step, so please hold while I figure this out. It was before I put on those interesting arm pieces. Okay, so we have the green. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this blue goes. Oh, okay. So we know what I said about this connecting in such an interesting way. I didn't realize that I also forgot or left off another piece that connects on the top part too. So um, I'm putting in more of these bar end pieces. Can't stay long, no. Just scrolling through live Lego streams and saw yours. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining, and I'm excited to connect with you over time. So good to have you here, whether for a long time or just a short time, which is fun too. So. Um, you're wanting to go to San Antonio Botanical Gardens on your list. Awesome. Toy Story was the first Pixar movie I ever laid eyes on. Same, Brandon. It was actually the first Pixar movie, full length movie. Um, and so for many of us, that would be the case too. I think, obviously, now that there are so many more Pixar movies out and about, a lot of people could have been introduced to Pixar beyond Toy Story, which is interesting to me. I never really thought about that until you said that. Um, yeah, it was, the first one that we all got to experience, and I remember it was such a revolutionary change, for us because it was so different to see computer animation instead of hand-drawn animation. We'd seen bits and pieces of it in movies like, Lion King, specifically when all of the wildebeests are running through, the pathway, or through the big, like, gorge, I guess. A lot of that was computer animated, and in Aladdin, part of the Cave of Wonders was computer animated, and those were huge changes from the strictly only hand drawn pieces as it moved forward. I heard you say every something. Oh, what days are your every Wednesday. Sorry about that. So every Wednesday, 1 or 1:30-ish, Central Time. So I think that'd be around 11:30-ish your time. I go live, typically, often building review sets as I'm a Lego ambassador, so I get sets in advance, to get to review. I do lots of other things too beyond YouTube, but this is, one of the platforms I'm on. But one of the things I love to do is to teach, build tutorials and tips and tricks. And I do that through a build community. So if you are also a Lego builder who builds your own creations, I would recommend that you connect with me on Instagram as well. And through both Instagram and YouTube, I share these tutorials, and then we do build challenges. So yeah, would love to have you join whenever you're able to. Okay, every Wednesday. So I think I think it's, if you're Northern California right now, it's about noon, if I'm not mistaken. And I try to be on around 1 o'clock, which would be about 11 a.m. your time, I think. I could be wrong. So anyway, and what's your name if you feel comfortable sharing? If not, I'll just refer to you as Little Bricks. So, or is it Little I Bricks or Little L? I'm curious on which you're going with. In 2 hours behind. Oh yeah. So exactly. So right around probably 11 a.m. Little L Bricks. That's so fun. Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to connect with you further. I love that as in Lego. Nice. Okay, makes a lot of sense. Well, you're in good community here, and yeah, looking forward to getting to know you better. So, okay, I think I've caught back up to the piece I missed. Here we go. Now I can dive right back in to where I was, and I'll show you just a second what I'm at. So, all right. So, um, but yeah, Toy Story was one of my favorite movies as a kid. We wore out our VCR tape of it. For those who don't know, a VCR, just kidding. But videotapes, yeah, we had videotapes of this and of Aladdin, and Lion King and a few other Disney movies. At the time, Disney Pixar movie, of course, or the first Disney Pixar was Toy Story. And I remember my dog, I think, got to the clamshell, which was like the plasticky covers that cover the VHS tapes, and it chewed all over it and ripped it up. And I was so mad about that. I was so disappointed. Hello, Victor. So you can call me Little Lego for short if you want to. I love that. Awesome. The original name was Little Lego, but I had to change my name because I applied for Lane. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So the Lego Ambassador Network, one of the rules that they have is that you don't use Lego in your screen name. And so I know a lot of people who've managed to change theirs over time, sometimes with the intention and hope of getting into the Lego Investor Network, other times just because they want to change it too, which is fine as well. But from a brand standpoint, they really only want accounts that are officially affiliated with the Lego group to have Lego in the name, which makes sense. Having worked in corporate America, I understand kind of where some of that stuff comes from. So, but yes, I've seen a lot of people switch their names up a little bit as well. VHS tape said it's different since Disney is essentially shutting down the home entertainment division. Oh, sad. Everything is managed by Sony now. I didn't know that. That makes me sad. Yeah. Time passes by, though I'm having second thoughts lately with others leaving the land lately. Oh, interesting. Would be happy to chat with you more about that. And my experience has been abundantly positive and really good. I also know that everybody has their own experience and own perspective on that too, but always happy to share more about what my experience has been like when people are curious about the Lego Investor Network. For me, it's been a wonderful way to continue to grow my community. It's been really fun, obviously, to get the review sets, but I think for me, the biggest thing is it's helped me continue to reach more people with the like educational tutorial types of things. My mission in life is to build compassionate and creative community and community leaders. And this just fits in naturally with all of that too. So lots of fun. Yay. Hi. How's it going? Hope you enjoyed your trip to Paris. I did. It was wonderful. It was nice to see some comments from friends along the way as well, for people who were like, oh, it looks like you're having a good time and that kind of thing. So thanks for those of you that did. It was nice to hear from y'all. Okay, y'all. Looks like we have some butt cheeks, maybe. So it looks like you might be seated, which is cute. I'm not exactly sure if that's what that's going to be, but that's what it's looking like to me. I love this Pizza Planet logo here on the, what would that be, the right side of the screen? No, the left side of the screen? Flip it around. I can't remember. I'm having a hard time, especially because camera flips the images and stuff too. But really, really fun, and having a good time with this build so far. This might be the front of the torso. I don't know. We'll have to see. So good to see you. Yes. Do you mind if I say when? Oh, please. Yeah. Share with us, little L. When are your live streams? Would love to connect with y'all or with you as well. So. And thanks, Victor. We had a really good time for sure. Brendan says the Sony distribution disclaimer has been on many Disney DVDs and Blu-rays since 2024. Interesting. See, I haven't actually looked at Blu-rays and DVDs physically in a very, very long time. So I haven't been seeing any of that. All right, moving on to bag two. But yeah, we got a nice little core so far. It looks like this is going to be where the arms are. On the left and right, it looks like the legs are going to be down here at the bottom. And then at the top, this is probably going to be where the head connects. So curious to see how many more bags we'll do just for the alien. I'm guessing maybe just this one. So. And while little L is writing in their live stream timeframes and whatnot too, anybody else feel free to share yours as well. It's always nice to connect and watch each other's streams if we have a chance to as well. All right, so yours are Thursdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. Pacific. Awesome. Roscoe's Police or from Dukes of Hazzard. Interesting, cool. So yeah, good to know. So Thursdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. Pacific, and that is Little L Bricks. Well, it's very nice to meet you. Thanks for saying hello and chatting and joining us for a little bit today. So looking forward to seeing you on one of our lives, either mine or yours, again in the future. So, all right. Let's see. So this next bag does not have a lot of lime green, and that is telling me it's going to be at least 3 bags. Will you be building something for the Pokemon Lego Ideas contest? I really would love to. Really, really would love to. And I don't know if I'm going to have time. So I was so excited to see that announcement come out, and we were in Paris, I think, when I saw that announcement come out. So obviously, away from my free bricks to start building and exploring a different country. So not in the mindset yet to dive in. But I got home, and to be honest, we have a lot of things going on personally, as well as a lot of review sets that kind of piled up during those 2 weeks while we were out. And so I'm trying to figure out how to manage my time effectively and get it all done. So we'll see. Did you build one, Victor? And did anybody else build one for the Lego Ideas Challenge? So same, you started 2 weeks ago, and so far you've only done the frame and the head of the Pokemon. I mean, that is the frame and the head of the Pokemon further along than I am. So I have yet to even pick which one I would want to do. So I'm curious, are you building yours off of an existing card? So did you find art and imagery that you're going to build off of, or are you kind of creating that from your own brain? I would assume that you are using at least the back of the card as reference if you're going to build the back side of it too. But I have wondered if I want to build one that is connected directly to art that already exists, or if I want to kind of design my own, if I were to actually follow through with it. So we shall see. Let's see. All right, it looks like, oh, these feet are so cute, y'all. Okay, so here's one foot. One little foot. That's just adorable. It's a cute little. There we go. There's the focus on the foot. All right, we're gonna put this one on here on. Looks like the left foot. That's cute. So when I said that looks like butt cheeks, I was wrong. That's the front. So those are just the front of the legs. You building Tinkaton, of course. Yeah, the Pokemon with the hammer. Right, it's a super cute foot. And you designed your own. Awesome. That's really cool. You think you cannot replicate the front of the card. Um, by that, do you mean I need to look up the rules because I haven't looked it up. But does that mean you can't find art and build off of it, or does that mean you can't do the side that says Pokemon? Does that make sense? What I'm asking? Um, yeah, I need to look into the rules before I decide if I'm gonna dive into that as a build project. But I was excited to see it. I think it's a really, really fun challenge. And having just gotten so much more into Pokemon recently, I just thought, how cool would that be as a build challenge. Now, what's fun is I've actually seen one done really well that was on display at a Lego convention previously. I cannot remember who the builder was, and I don't even have pictures of it, but I remember seeing it and just being amazed by it. And that person, I'm sure, is like, well, this is perfect for me. So I hope they submit theirs. I have seen quite a few really well done ones already showing up in my feed. So kudos to the people who are just like so quick to dive into producing their or creating their creations. So the rule says something that you cannot use one of the existing arts already. I don't know about the back. Oh, interesting. Okay, thank you. That is helpful to know. So in that case, I will not rely on looking at art from a previous one, which makes a lot of sense because that would be copyright infringement, most likely. One of the things I've grown to love very quickly with this hobby of Pokemon is the art by all of the incredible artists. And even more importantly, how Pokemon provides credit for each of the artists on the cards themselves. I think that's so cool. When's the deadline for that Lego Ideas contest? Victor, do you know off the top of your head? I want to say it was like beginning of May or end of April, but I can't fully remember. We will find out and get it in the chat for sure. Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't have it off the top of my head. So if someone can quickly find the deadline and pop it in the chat, that'd be great. Let's see. All right, starting to get some lime green here. Just little bits of it, but fun, fun. But let me tell you, this contest started a new addiction to me. Now I'm buying and buying cards. Oh no! Look what they did. Oh, it ends in 20 days. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I am obsessed. It is such a fun new hobby for me. When we were in, I almost said Baltimore. That is so random. There wasn't even a flight anywhere near Baltimore. I have no idea why that's what came to my mind. When we were in Paris, France, not Baltimore, what in the world? My brain does silly things sometimes. We were shopping one day, and all week long I'd been looking when we went to grocery stores and little local places to see if any place sold Pokemon cards. And one place did, and I was excited. But then when she pulled down the cards they were old ones that wouldn't be playable now because there are rules with what is allowed in gameplay. And I'm not just collecting the cards, I'm getting them so that I can play the game. And so I wanted to get ones that I could actually play with. And I finally found we had about 30 minutes where it was like nothing happening. We were just kind of relaxing, enjoying some coffee, shopping around a little bit. And I found a game store nearby. And so I said, "Hey, I'm going to take a quick walk and go check out this game store." And there were 5 game stores, all side by side, that all had all kinds of really cool, gaming type of fun and things, and I was so excited, and so I was able to get 4 packs, which I opened yesterday, and I'm gonna, share, what I got from them. But look at this! It's in French. I love it so much. So now I have 40 cards that are all in French language, and that means I can't read them currently. So now I need to track down the information of what each one does, so that I know how they work with gameplay, and then I can play with them, which is so cool. So that was really fun. It was also neat for me to see that even the names of the Pokemon are different there. I had just assumed that they wouldn't be. I don't know why, but I just assumed they wouldn't be, and I was wrong. So that was a fun new piece of knowledge for me too. So yeah, how was the weather? Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. It would be cool to get some cards in French. Yeah, I was really excited to see them in French. I'd seen them in Japanese in some local shops here in Austin because I think there's a lot of collectors who like to collect the original language for them, which is really cool. But since we were actually traveling to France and I had the experience of being in France, I thought this is a great opportunity to get like a unique keepsake that's a little different than what I normally would get on a trip. So I'll if I remember, I will try to bring them with me to our next meeting to show them to you if you're interested. So yeah, the weather was beautiful. It was chilly the whole time. It was a little rainy, but not too bad. So kind of overcast for about half of the trip. Um, Kind of off and on. And so we'd get bits of sunshine here and there, but I loved the chilly weather. It was so nice to get a break from this Texas heat and have a chance to wear clothes that I love that I don't get to wear all that often here in Austin. So I found a really cool jacket that I'm so excited about. And that was something fun that I got to buy and also wear while we were there, which was really cool. So I was trying not to spend money on lots of touristy things. Not that there's anything wrong with like having a keepsake or a memento from stuff, obviously. But I was trying instead of like just getting a t-shirt at every single place like I used to do, to focus on like get one or two things that I really love and that I will wear out, as opposed to a million things because we were trying to not spend all the money. So um yeah, it was lovely. It was really, really nice. Yeah, cool. I have a few Squirtle cards in other languages. Yay! I'm working on collecting Squirtle in other languages. That's fun. I didn't get any Squirtle in French, and I combined France and French right there. I said in French. But I'm excited to see the ones that you do have in other languages. That's a fun thing. I have a friend who, every time she travels, she has a book series she loves, and she will always try and find that book series in whatever language it is that she sees in the different countries. So that's always fun. So I love that idea for like a fun keepsake when you go to different places. We find that we buy that it's so easy to buy way too many ornaments and way too many trinkets and things to put out and all that kind of stuff. And so we were trying to not spend too much money on all those things this time. And I think we did a decent job while still getting some fun things to have around the house. So um, let's see. Yay, you'll bring them to the next meeting. Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to seeing it. And yeah, if I remember, I will bring my um, French ones to the meeting too. All right. So we are getting okay. I didn't remember um the aliens having like a purple collar, but it's looking like that's what's here too. Did you get your Paris poster there? Oh, the Lego one, the like postcard type architecture one. Kind of. So, fun fact with that, I wanted to um, build it before the trip. And our friend whose birthday it was, as soon as she saw that it was going to be available, she bought the set. But she doesn't typically like to build them. She'll buy them and then she'll have me over and I'll build it for her. She just likes to have them on display. And so, oh, that one in the other room, you have a good eye. Also, that room is such a disaster. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. But yes, we did. We got that poster in there. So I thought you meant the Lego set that was the Eiffel Tower one, which is really, really cool. So, but yeah, so our friend got that, and I requested it from Lego to get to review, and I'm so excited to share with you what I have planned for it. So that one will be a fun surprise when I get around to it. But yeah, that poster was one poster we got. We got two prints. So that one, and then the other one is across from here in our living room. And we have oh my gosh, y'all. They're just so cute. Look at these eyeballs. Okay, these are adorable. So these are on little, what do you call them? Shields, minifigure shields. And there's two printed eyeballs in it. And I love that they're printed as opposed to stickers, because to get a sticker correctly angled in the right way on those shields would be so hard to do. Anyway, we got two pieces of art. So the other one is a print of Giverny, which is, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, like I said, but it's Monet's Gardens. And we have a wall that's similar to the wall in that room. So our house has, is it gabled ceilings? That's not the right word, is it? Does it come with a claw? It should, but I don't think it does, because instead he's writing in the Pizza Planet rocket. So it's not the claw machine. Although that would be so much fun to build, like a claw machine that could work to pick up this size. So please do. I would love to see that on display at a convention. And also, this bag is all green, so clearly we're finally getting around to the heads. Anyhow, it in this room we have I can't remember what you call that when the ceilings are tall and come to a peak. Is that gabled ceilings? I don't think so. I feel like it's a different word, but the word is escaping me right now. But anyway, we have a big wall there behind me that I'm looking at, and we're planning to kind of fill it with lots of art from our travels. And so that one that you see there, if I can point correctly, that Paris one will be on that wall with the is it Giverny? Giverny? Yeah, Philip also can't remember either. So vaulted. Thank you. I knew gabled was wrong. So you have no idea. She will notice the vase on a table in the background of TV shows you watch. I love that so much. Then I know that you've seen our mess in our house, because there's always like a little glimpse of that room. That room is our den. It's our favorite place that we love in this house. And we spend a lot of time in there reading, and we also project movies on the wall. So where the Paris poster print is, we also have a projector that projects across the room onto the large wall over there. So because of that, we can't have any art on that wall because it needs to be a clean white slate for projecting. And since we watch such a large volume of things there, we didn't want to like have a screen that goes up and down and that kind of stuff. We just wanted it to be as simple as possible. Plus, it looks really sleek to just have it as the wall. But that said, a lot of our wall space in the rest of the house is already getting taken up with stuff. So very excited to make that like a big gallery vaulted wall um, in the living room. I think, yeah. If that's the den, this is the living room. I think is what I'd say. So yeah. Well, so if you were to want to create a trio of these aliens, you could, instead of buying 3 sets, you could source all the parts for the alien, and it looks like you would have to source the printed eye pieces and the stickers, and there's only 1 sticker, I think, on his chest that's like the Pizza Planet logo, so you'd have to get 2 more sticker sheets and then 4 more of the eyes, and I think the eyes, um oh, just kidding, because they have 3 eyeballs. You'd have to get 6 more of the eyes. The eyes are all the same, it looks like, on the prints. So that would be the easiest way to do it, or the most cost-efficient way to do it, probably. Or you could buy 3 of the set, but then you'd have 3 of the Pizza Planet rockets. So maybe you could take the parts from the Pizza Planet rocket ship, and make them combine all 3 of those to make into a claw machine, potentially. I still think you would need some extra pieces. I don't think that would be enough to make a full claw machine, but I'm excited to see when people do, because I'm sure someone will get around to it. So let's see. My Lego room is also my work office, also a mess, right? I can relate. And then I have a hot mess in the dining room with art supplies for when the grandkids visit. I love that so much for your grandkids, though. I love that they get to experience that when they come over to grandma's house. Do you go by grandma or do you go by a different term with the kiddos? That's really fun. I was just saying, don't they have 3 eyes? They do, and you're right. And as I was looking at it, I just was not thinking through what they look like. I was just thinking, "Oh, most characters have 2 eyes." And so when I saw the 3rd one, my first thought was, "They gave me an extra eye." And then I remembered, no, they didn't. They gave me the appropriate amount of eyes, for this character, so Mimi, oh, I love that. That's really sweet. That's really fun. Well, those kiddos have a blast, I'm sure, when they come over and get to play with all of the fun art supplies. We have a hot mess of a dining room as well. I'm sitting in it right now. And thankfully for you all, you can't see the hot mess because it's like around the sides of and behind this laptop. So I like to pretend like it's super tidy. But it is one of the things that's on my list to do is to clean off this table and get it under control again. And then also to finish cleaning out my Lego room, which is behind the wall behind me here. Once I have that cleaned out, I might switch to doing my live streams in there again. That's where I first started doing some of my live streams, but I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So it's definitely where I build. Like that is the build room, and that's where we have all of our Legos, Lego bricks sorted and everything. So this is a no Lego mess judgment zone. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right? If anybody is here judging about Lego mess, you are in the wrong hobby. And honestly, art comes out of chaos. Like I find that so much of my creativity flows even more in kind of chaotic type environments at times. And so I think, chaos can be a good thing for art. It can also be a bad thing for art too at times. Of course, we have Lego mocks and sets all over. I mean, really? Of course, of course. I can't imagine what that's like. I love that so much, Bev. And I love that there's like so much like relatability within our community, where people are like, oh yeah, me too. It makes us feel less alone in our messes, right? Also, a mess just means that you have a fun and happy life, right? Just means that you're enjoying life to the fullest. So don't stress the mess. I like that. I like that a lot. Tell Philip. Just kidding. He's not upset about things with the mess or anything. So we both would love to have a tidier house. And at times it gets tidier. Usually, like if we have people over, it's a good excuse to get ourselves to actually tidy up. Okay, here's a fun thing. So this is for the face. The white is probably going to be like the inside, maybe the teeth, if you will. We're using a car bumper upside down, not bumper, the things that go over the wheels, upside down, and pick your battles, Philip. Right. And then we've got these clips here, and these clips are going to clip onto those blue pieces underneath. If they'll show, come on. Da, da, da. There we go. So they clip just like so in such a remarkable and cool way. Ah, that's fun. So it's making the little lips. That's cute for the bottom lip. Um, yeah, no, Philip understands the mess for sure. Um, but yeah, it is anytime that we get around to like actually tidying up and everything, it's like, oh, that was really nice. I like this for the next day before it becomes chaos again. So, you know, fun, fun. Y'all, today is tax day. I'm sure it's everybody's favorite for those in the United States anyway. And I swear, every year I tell myself in January, do your taxes in January because then they're done. And I think 2 years I did them in February, which was an improvement on most years. But typically, I find myself waiting until the last minute to do them. And partly this time was because of the Paris trip, of course. Usually we start on them like beginning of April and get them finished earlier. But oh my goodness, last night it was like, we have to do this. And we were debating filing for an extension just so that we would have a little bit of extra time, but we got them done, which is good. But that's just one of those things that I'm like, why is this so hard? Why is it so effortful to do? And couldn't there be an easier way? And the answer is there could, but not the way that our government is choosing to approach it. So grateful that they are finished, which is the most important piece. And yeah, happy that that's done with this time. But that was one of those things where I was like, really, this is something that we get to return from Paris to is doing our taxes. Can there not be something more fun and more enjoyable to return to? So yay, fun. Um, okay. So more work on this looks like it's the top of the lip. Okay. Cute. We're using, where's the other piece so I can show you? We're using these pieces that are the wedge pieces that have like the chip out of the corner of them. We're putting two on so they kind of face downward. And then you see that little bit of black that's going to be for the inside of the mouth. That is going to snap on here. So what I saw is the white part for the inside of the mouth disappears and it becomes black, which actually makes more sense. It'd be weird if they had teeth now that I think about it. But that is so cute for the little lips, like just perfect for the mouth. I think the Lego group did a fantastic job designing these characters for sure. So I was thrilled that this was going to be a set. And this is one that we didn't get to see at Fan Media Days. So we're hitting a point now where we're getting a lot of sets revealed that were not revealed there. And that's exciting because I loved getting to see all the reveals early back in September. But I want to say that almost every set that was revealed is already out, which means there's even more excitement coming. So really, really fun. And while I loved seeing the things early, I also love just seeing surprise reveals as they come out throughout the year too from Lego. So yay! So of the things that have been announced from Lego, what are some of the sets that you're excited about, y'all? Anything that piques your interest? I know I am very excited about Snoopy. That is one that is high on my list, and one that they're not sending us for review, so I will need to just pick up on my own, which is fine. And yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. What else was revealed? Trying to think. The Jurassic Park Jeep. very excited about, and it's sitting under our table waiting to be built. And so that's one that Philip and I are going to build together, just like we did last year when we built the T-Rex skeleton. We will probably rewatch all of the movies again because for both of us, that's like a favorite film franchise. So uh, definitely excited there. Trying to think of what else was announced. The Toy Story ones for sure would have been top of my list anyway. So I'm thrilled that we have these three. The Bookends in particular, I'm most excited about. Um, I think I said this at the beginning of the stream, but my favorite characters from Toy Story when I first watched the movie were Rex and Slinky Dog. And so I have a whole bunch of like Rex and Slinky Dog stuff from being a kid that I'm sure is like packed away somewhere. Um, and so, yeah, I was thrilled that we are getting a Slinky Dog minifigure, which is the coolest, and the fully brick built one too. So, yeah, I missed the window for buying it sooner. So now I'm waiting for the Project Hail Mary. Yes, that one is back ordered for me. So eventually it'll show up, but who knows when, which makes me sad. Just Brick Jeep looks amazing. It is incredible. So the Jeep, I actually had a chance to do. Yeah, same. You said holding your breath for a big Disney set later this year. Agreed. And I feel like we should be getting one, but I don't have any information to know. But I feel like something big must come because I feel like that's something that comes every summer, maybe around August timeframe or maybe even July. Like they usually release like one big set around then. So we shall see. But yeah, the Jurassic Park Jeep was one of my 5 interviews during Fan Media Days. And so I got to interview the guy who did it. He is so nice. He's worked for Lego for a very long time. And he had 3 built versions of the Jeep there to show us the 3 different ways you can customize it, which was so cool to get to see all of them together. But the interview that I got to have with him was really fun. So I need to go through and weave in some of the interview into my review video. And I think for that one, since I'll be building it with Philip, it'll probably be while we're watching the movies and things. So it won't be on a live stream. So that's probably one that I'll do an actual video review of afterward. And we'll include some of the interview stuff. It was really cool. So not sure what new sets to get. The floral sets are gorgeous. That magnolia set is stunning, right, Bev? Have you built it yet? Um, we built that. Wait, did I do that on a live stream? I might have. Anyway, beautiful. And is a stunning display. Like of the floral sets, I think it's one of my favorites potentially. Just the pink and white colorful petals. It's just really cool. So agreed on that one. Okay, yeah, I was like, wait, I think I did build it on a live stream. Um, what are y'all's thoughts on like the buildable animals that we've gotten? So we had the dog, we had 2 cats now, identical-ish, well, loosely identical, different colors for them, and slightly different shaping for the orange tabby cat. I need to build both the Labrador and that orange cat still, and so eventually we'll have to get around to that one soon. But I'm curious if you like those or if they're not your style. Of the buildable animals that we've gotten large versions of so far, I would say my number one pick is the Dalmatian from 101 Dalmatians. It's really cool. It's just a beautiful build. So that one is high on my list for recommendations for people, whether you're a Disney fan or not. But who isn't a Disney fan? Come on. If you're not a Disney fan, what even are you? Just kidding. Um, trying to think of what else has been revealed. I know the Marvel Helicarrier was revealed too. We saw that one at Fan Media Days as well. It's really beautiful in person. It's not one that we will be getting. We just don't have the room. And we love Marvel, but it's not the style of sets that we typically like to build in our house. Okay, I am missing a piece. It is probably in the bag. Yep, here it is. Here we go. Yeah, the botanicals are just really pretty. And yeah, put them in glass vases with rocks in the base. So I love that. I I like the idea of doing the of putting them in with actual rocks and making it look even more realistic that way. And I've seen some people combine both real flowers and the Lego flowers together, which is really interesting to see. There's actually a partnership that Lego did with, I can't remember what the company is, Pretty Blooms or something like that, where they sell the Lego set that they designed floral bouquets using the Lego sets as inspiration so that they get the color matches and the flower matches correct. And then you can buy it as a package set so that you get the beautiful flowers and you get to build the beautiful flowers to add into your bouquet, which I thought was a really clever and smart marketing approach. So my grandson thought they were real. That's so fun. The scale of the Hell character looks like it'll fit nicely in with the Avengers Tower. Oh, that's something I didn't even consider, but I think you're right. The scale could be about the same. It's very large. It felt very large to me in person. I'm trying to remember now. I'll have to look back through my videos or pictures from that time and see. Um, but I feel like I remember it being very, very large. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Okay, so here's the face so far. The clips, I'm guessing, are gonna be where we attach the eyes, so, all 3 of them are ready to go, and then now I'm gonna be building out what's on the sides here too. So, some nice, experience building upwards and downwards here too. So, nice ways of reversing stud techniques throughout, and yeah. A lot of it's using clips, which is a different way to do reverse stud techniques than I normally do. So I like to learn or practice new ways or different ways to do the same types of things. Um, so yeah, my grandson. Oh yeah, that's so fun. The other Disney sets that came out this year that were buildable characters were we've got the Winnie the Pooh and the Piglet. Honestly, I thought both were fun. Winnie the Pooh in particular was a really stunning build overall, and is a great display as well. And Piglet is cute and adorable, and I think they did a good job with that one. And I like that it came with a little cake. I thought that was really fun too. But those were both pretty fun sculpted builds as well. So I'm loving seeing more and more sculpted characters from IPs. All right, so we are building, it looks like 2 of this piece that's like the sides of his cheeks. So here we've got the clips, the white clips sticking out from the cheek part, right? And that's going to flip upside down. That's going to attach here on this azure blue double clip teching. Oh, the Zelda, yes. That one looks like a really fun set too. I have the other one that I got from a Lego convention that I've been wanting to build. The Doku Tree, I think is what it's called, and haven't gotten around to it yet. But that's one that I was really looking forward to. And then they released and showed the new one, and I just thought it looked so stunning. I honestly did not really play Zelda growing up, and so it's something where now that I have a Nintendo Switch, I have been wanting to get one of the Zelda games and had asked a lot of people their opinions on them. And if you have opinions, please share them on which ones you think are better than others. I think I've narrowed it down to the one that I want to get, but I'm still interested in and open to hearing other people's perspectives too. So, um, but yeah, so I kind of wanted to wait to build it until I'd had a little bit more experience with the game. But we shall see. I'm actually going to build it with a family friend that's a dear friend of mine who worked with me at Paper Source. And her son is very, very excited about the set. And it's one that they just were like, we can't get this for him, but would you be willing to build it with him? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to have help. So I'm really excited to get around to doing that eventually with him, maybe sometime this summer. So we'll see. It'll just be like fun time with him. So uh, I love um, having friends that have kiddos and um, just getting to share life with them as well. So yeah, my first one was Breath of the Wild, and seeing Link and Zelda in Super Smash Brothers. Right. For a lot of people, I think it was the same. And growing up, I had a lot of friends who it kind of felt like you were either a Mario family or a Zelda family, or a Sonic if you had a Sega. That's what I felt like was true growing up. Now, I don't know if that was just my experience or if that was a kind of experience that a lot of people had, but we were a Mario family and we had the original Nintendo, but we didn't get new ones. We got the Game Boy, but we didn't get a Super Nintendo, or anything like that. And so everything had to be kind of playable on the original. And I remember going to a neighbor's house and they had Zelda, and I was like, "What is this?" And it wasn't something that you could just like pick up and fully understand right away. And so I lost interest pretty quickly. And I think now, as an adult, I actually would really love the deep lore and longer story of what Zelda provides. Just then I didn't have the patience probably at the time. And it's like you go to your friend's house and you want to play a game, you want to play something that you're familiar with because it's faster to, ramp up to the pace of like, hey, now I can actually play and compete and whatever. So um oh my gosh, y'all. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy, but it's really cute. Too. So yeah, I've heard really, really good things about Breath of the Wild from many people, and I've also heard good things about the two that I was considering. And oh my goodness, what are they called? They look more cartoony. Like the characters are like have more rounded heads, if that makes sense, and look a little bit more cartoony cutesy, which I'm just drawn to that animation style. So it kind of was giving me a little bit of like Animal Crossing type style vibes in terms of the characters. Um, so that was something that I was interested in. Where that drew me to it was just the visuals of the game, and it's maybe Link's Awakening might be one of them, and then I can't remember the name of the other one. Echoes of Wisdom? I think those are the 2, Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, I think are the 2 that I was considering. And in particular, one of them, you play as Zelda, as Princess Zelda, and I was excited that it was the first time that you could ever play as her, in one of the sagas, and so that also drew me towards that one. But I did want to know from people, like, is this really the right one to start with, or, like, should I start with something else to better understand it? Okay, y'all. It's looking a little less creepy. Actually, right now he needs an eye patch for that last eye. But let's fix it. There we go. Ta-da! Oh my gosh. Shut up. It's so cute. Okay, now the best part. Well, maybe not the best part, but another cool part. Eee. Oh, I love him so much. And then the ears, of course. And the ears actually go backwards. So let's see. We do it like so. Okay. Y'all, they did a great job. I'm super impressed. Like, I'm super impressed, y'all. It's just so cute. Yeah, much better with the eyes. Agreed. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then this will attach here. Da, 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 da. Take me to your leader. The claw. The claw's our master. He tells us who will go and who will stay. I have been chosen. Farewell, my friends. I am off to a better place. And then that's when Buzz says, "This is ludicrous." Actually, is that Woody? I can't remember who. Anyway, okay, enough silly games. Time to get serious. We are now moving on to building the Pizza Planet rocket. So cute, y'all. This is adorable. I'm a fan. I want 2 more. I need 2 more, not just want. It's necessary. And it's actually he's the right size. I thought he was gonna be a little bigger than this, and I actually really love this scale for him. I think he's adorable. Um, ugh, he's so cute. So looking at this and building this out, I think there are a few parts that would be hard to come by if you're trying to replicate this without buying the set. And so some of those are these rounded parts at the top, which are crucial to getting the shape of his head right, as well as the pieces on the top of his toes, which we also have in lime green on the bottom sides of his jaw. So those are all parts that would be a little bit more challenging, I think, to come by. And my hope is that Lego already has them on their online pick a brick, but I don't know for sure. So that would be fun to find out, though, so that we could recommend to people to buy them that way if they just want the alien or if they want to get a second or third alien for their collection. So that's also where I get why Lego wouldn't sell individually the sticker sheets the way that they do other pieces. Oh, and the eyeballs, of course. Those are going to be very hard to come by. You'll have to get those only off the Bricklink. I sincerely doubt that Lego will put those on their build a or their pick a brick online. So okay, so what's super fun here is the first thing that you build is a little piece of pizza, which is adorable, and it's making me remember the super adorable little pizza characters that my dear friend and Lego Masters buddy Maya built for her head-to-head battle against John and I. So it's just so cute. Hers were built differently than this, but it just was the first thing that popped into my mind. So sometimes Maya is here on the live streams when she's available, which is fun. But yes, major shout out to her in the memory of her really, really cute pineapple pizza build. That was just so fun. You have the Pizza Planet truck. Oh, I'm so jealous. That's an amazing set. That's a really amazing set. Also, hi, good to see you. Um, that you have from new in box. Oh my gosh, I can't bring myself to opening it as it sits in my dark closet. Okay, I challenge you to open it and build it. I really think that it deserves to be out on display outside the box. That's my thought, but I understand why you'd want to hang on to it. It is a very pricey set after market, so and that's one I would love to have someday. Y'all, just too cute, way too cute. Um, Also, everybody, that's my friend George. He is in the Lug and the Lego user group with Missy and Bev and I, and others who sometimes join Ben and other friends as well. So good to see you, friend. I have the original Wally. It's not new in box, it's in box, but a friend of mine from our church had bought it, had started to build it, and then she just kind of gave up on it and wasn't for her anymore. And she came to, um, we did a Lego night at church that Philip and I hosted. It was a lot of fun just kind of building with some friends. And she came and she's like, "Hey, would you all want the Wally set? I don't want it." And I was like, "Are you kidding? That is like a life goal to have that set. That's too amazing." And she brought it to us and dropped it off for us. It was so sweet. So it is still in the box and has been waiting to be built. And it's the original Lego Ideas one. And so I was excited when Lego came out with a new one with Eve, but I still really, really, really want to build the one that's in the box. So I need to find time to get around to doing that because that was such a sweet and thoughtful gift from her, like totally unexpected. She's really cool. Um, but yes. Okay, what do we got here? So we are now building out the foundation for the vehicle ride. And what's interesting is this is an upscaled version, of some of the old sets that Lego has produced in the past. So we had, I think they were gifts with purchase, and/or they might have been insiders rewards that you could build a little rocket ship type character. I have it in the other room. But as I'm building this, I'm noticing that we're using some similar parts, just maybe larger versions of them, to create the larger structure. So that's pretty cool. So, all right, let's see. Also, shout out to those of y'all who have participated already and shared your builds for this month's build challenge. Technically, it's due today. I think I might give a little bit of grace because it's also tax day in the US, and you know, life is tough. And actually, I want your opinion on this. So I had said, based on feedback from people, that we would do the due date for our build challenges mid-month, and that way it didn't necessarily conflict with other build challenges. So it could be something that you did in addition to other build challenges along the way. Still love that idea. Still plan to do that. But what I was wondering is, with that, what do you all think of me changing it to being on the 20th of the month, or maybe not even the 20th of the month, but rather changing it to be so that when it's submitted online, it's submitted over a weekend. So, what I mean by that is middle of the month would be this week, and I would have the submission deadline be the end of day Sunday of this weekend. My thought with that is people often wait to build their things until the last minute, and sometimes need a deadline to help motivate them to actually do it. And when it's in the middle of the week, I'm wondering if that's just like so challenging for people that it'll result in people not doing it. So, curious on your thoughts. Do we stick with the 15th? And I'll ask this in the Discord and in Instagram too to get opinions as well. But would love to hear from y'all if you are a build challenge participant, because I want to make sure that it's like a friendly experience for y'all, and a good experience for y'all. So I built mine yesterday. I actually over the last 2 days. So I built the minifigure 2 day or the mini lander 2 days ago, which I already had a different mini lander that I was going to do for it. I just changed plans after we got back from Paris. I wanted to build something Paris related, and so I did a new approach with it. But okay, fun, yay! So here's how that's going to bump up and down, which is super fun to see a relatively easy little stretch as well. How dare you? Yes, you built yours last night. That's awesome. Right? Yeah, I feel like it's so common to like wait until the last minute, and there's no shade there whatsoever. It's perfectly fine. Many of us do it that way. But I just want to make sure that the way that we approach this is a way that will get people to participate as opposed to say, oh, I just can't make it work this month and have that run into many months of not participating. Because I think that happens a lot of times, especially when you do a monthly challenge. If you don't participate this month, then that means it will be effectively 2 months between when you participated last. And if you miss 2 months in a row, that's 3 whole months before you do it again. So I think it can be easy for people to kind of get out of the habit with it. And I want it to be a community that continues to grow together. So my hope and goal would be that it's a good experience for everybody. And if that means shifting the due date to be over a weekend, if that's helpful for people, then great. Okay, y'all, look at this. So I'm going to teach you something fun right now. This is gearing to create something that moves, right? Relatively simple. You have two gears that connect to each other. When you move one way, it bumps against the other one, and the teeth connect to each other and move. Very simple. What's cool about this is there's something called gearing up and gearing down. What that means is if you put a large gear by a small gear, depending on which one you are spinning, the other one is going to either spin faster or slower. So in this case, we geared down. And what that means is we have the small gear. No, I said that backwards. We geared up. So we have the small gear attached to the spinny thing that I'm spinning with my hands. And when we spin it, it spins this large gear. The reason this matters is by putting it this way, this small gear is smaller in rotation and can move real fast, or it regardless if this is attached to the handle or the larger gear is attached to the handle, they move one rotation in the exact same amount of time. But the distance that is covered is shorter on a smaller wheel because it has a smaller circumference or smaller outside of the wheel. So by putting a smaller wheel attached to a larger wheel, It moves that larger wheel slowly because the larger wheel has more distance to go around to make it all the way around. That helps you slow down the process of anything attached to it. So you see that black thing that's going up and down is going relatively slow, even though I'm spinning my hand twice as fast. If we were to flip those gears, that would be called gearing down, and that's where you're going from a big wheel to a small wheel. And if you can imagine, with a big wheel going 360 degrees in the same amount of rotation as a small wheel going in that same amount, it covers more ground over time. So that would actually make it twice as fast. So this is half as fast. And if we flipped it the other way, it would make it twice as fast. So that's why when I do this, it looks like the handle is spinning really fast. That's because the thing I'm moving in the rotation is the larger gear. Did that make any sense whatsoever? I feel like it made perfect sense in my brain, but as I was trying to talk it out, I was like, I don't know if this is actually resonating. So, um, but that is how, when you see a build that is spinning, there are two ways to potentially slow it down or speed it up. One is to buy a motor that you can speed up or slow down, which is a simple fix. The other is to do the approach of gearing up or gearing down to make it go slower or faster. And usually with Lego, we see the gearing up approach because it's built into the structure and it's meant to be hand cranked usually, and then you can add motors if you want to. And so that's not relying on the motor to do the work for you. So that's a quick lesson, and I don't know if it made any sense. So please let me know. I do plan to eventually do a series on how to do some moving things like this. My dear friend Interactive Bricks on Instagram is amazing at this kind of stuff, and she taught me so much of what I learned. Actually, for Lego Masters, which was really fun. And she's super smart and has incredible moving stuff. So yes, definitely check her out, and I will come back in the future with maybe better articulated examples of the way to create these types of things. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Bev says, any day that works for me, or any day works for me. You were just really busy changing out work stuff. Totally get that. That's good to know. I want to hear from more people. And part of it too is sometimes when you want to get feedback, like the feedback I want to get is from people who aren't participating about why, like what is running into it being hard for them to participate, as well as to get the feedback from those who are participating about if I were to make a change, would that affect your ability to continue participating in a good or bad way? Because the ideal goal is for everyone to have an easy time participating and to reduce the barriers to participation. So this is also where my work brain, having worked in learning and development and education, comes into play. And I think way too hard about this kind of stuff, but I want it to be so. Moving the deadline to the weekend makes sense in my opinion. Yeah, that was where I was leaning, but yeah, I want to hear from people about that too, because that would put it closer to a deadline that falls at the end of the month for a lot of other challenges. So I don't want to have that then counteract the reason we were trying to do it in the middle of the month in the first place. So, and another way to look at it is the 15th is a very easy to remember date. And so if it's always due on the 15th, that makes that a little bit more simple too. But simple doesn't always have to be the solution. So, all right. Thank you for weighing in, both of you. And yeah, let's put this on now. All right, so this is cool. This piece that I just put on, you can see how it is connected on the bottom with these Technic pin or Technic hole bricks, and there's Technic pin in between. That pin that's on the inside, if you can tell, is light gray instead of black. That is important because it has less friction than a black Technic pin. So it allows it to move up and down really easily. And then this sits on top of that little circular piece so that when I twist it, it moves it up and down. Really cool. This is a really neat module. Hello, friend. How's it going, Hector? Good to see you. How's work? I hope that your day is restful and easy. And what have you been up to for the last 2 weeks? We've been chatting about, what everybody's been up to, um, recently, so curious to know what is new in your world. But yeah, kudos to everyone who's already gotten theirs in. It's really fun to see the different builds come into play. I'm gonna actually, because I have it sitting right beside me, I will show you the one that I was going to do for mine that I replaced because I'll probably use this for content later in the future. But here's the one I was gonna do for mine. Look at him. I'm obsessed with his tie. I was really, really proud about his tie. So Philip and I, just before we went to Paris, went to see the traveling Broadway show, The Great Gatsby. And we had also seen it in New York back in November when we were there for the Wicked premiere. And so had a wonderful time with it and came back from it. And I had built this character already and wasn't exactly sure who he was or what he was. I had built like just the torso of him and wasn't sure who he was or what he was going to become. And then we saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, put a little drink in his hand, give him like some clean shaven, clean cut haircut, and he's Gatsby. And so that became what I was going to do for my submission. And also, it was great because I already had him built before we went to Paris. So I was feeling real proud of myself that I had done that first. And I said, when I get home, I'm going to build a little scene that looks like a fun background of like the Great Gatsby vibe. And it'll be like him at a party with fireworks in the background and stuff. And then we got back and I said, I want to build a character from France. I want to build a character that relates to our trip instead. So I redid all of it and Philip was like, hey, remember all the review sets that just arrived? Just don't forget, you've got a lot on your plate. And he was not saying it in a chastising way. It was more just like I know that you get excited about new ideas and just want to remind you about how stressed you were when you got home and were like, oh my gosh, all this stuff to review. I was like, thank you. I'm still going to do it. So I did. So I will share it later today and you'll get to see it. So just worked, visited a new Bricks and Minifigs, whoop, whoop, and was at Disneyland this past Saturday. Oh, no big deal. How fun. Also love the mini later prompt. Yay! I loved your build, by the way. It's really cute. It's neat to see. I like that you had the picture that shows the brick heads, the mini later, and your sig fig. So I haven't gone through and commented on anybody's builds yet, but I've been very excited to see them as y'all have been tagging me in them. So thank you for those who've already participated. And Hector, one of the questions I asked just before you joined was, so the deadline currently is to always have it due on the 15th of the month. I was debating with this week being the 15th on a Wednesday, does it make more sense to try and bump it up to the following Sunday so that it gives people the end of the due date at the end of day Sunday? Or should I still stick with the 15th? So curious on your thoughts. My goal is to make it as easy as possible for anyone to participate and join and to do so consistently. So having it consistently on the 15th has its own advantages. Having the due date change when the 15th is or always having it on a weekend that's close to the 15th has its advantages as well. And yeah, I want people's thoughts on it. So okay, we got another sticker. We got two actually. Sid was here. Stupid graffiti from that jerk. He can't even spell was. And then insert coin here. That's fun. So all right, this is gonna go here. Is that right? I guess it's right. It seems kind of odd that it's like just kind of floating there, but that's what the instructions say. And then we have a 5-cent coin on top. And we also have an extra 5-cent coin, which we probably have two because usually there's yep, we get another one. And that one goes into the coin slot. So ta-da! Also, Hector, I mean, come on. He's just so adorable, right? I'm obsessed. Also, who wants to make a mini lander of the alien? I like that idea. I mean, they're squat and squished and whatever, so it may not actually translate in the way that I'd like it to, but that'd be kind of fun to see. So, all All right, we have 2 more bags after this, and we are almost done with bag 4. So we are definitely going to finish this build today, though, on the stream, which is fun. So exciting. And then tomorrow we'll dive into Lotso, and we'll probably theoretically we'll finish Lotso early and maybe get a start on the books, the bookends. We'll have to wait and see if that all is possible, but I'm thinking and hoping for that to be possible because it'd be fun to finish all 3 Toy Story sets this week. So yeah, this is a week of multiple live streams for those who have joined me for those in the past. We're doing that approach today or this week. In part because, like I said, there's a lot to review, a lot of things coming up. So yay, thanks. Good to see you. Have a good night. And thanks for joining. So that's a tough one because extending it to Sunday does give everybody else extra time to get their build submitted, but also it delays when we get the new prompt. Oh, that is also true too. That is a real talk thing. I know for a fact that I want to have the prompt out by the 20th of each month if the due date is the 15th, which gives me a little bit of wiggle room for filming and editing and creating the content for the next one. And so I want to just make sure that I'm setting us up for success for that too. So thank you for bringing that up. I think that's a good point to consider in making that decision. Yeah, because having the prompt with enough advance notice allows people who need to get parts from Bricks and Minifigs or something, or Lego, or the Pick a Brick Wall or whatever, to have some time to gather those parts. And so that is something that I also want people to be able to have time to do, because even last year there were people who were like, I would love to participate, but I don't have enough bricks, or I don't have the right bricks for each prompt. So I want to make sure that there aren't other barriers that show up as well. Okay, y'all. Dun, 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 dun. This is really cool. So if you wanted, let's see, can he surf? Let's see if we can get him to surf. Everybody's going surfing, surfing USA. Well, I can do it with my thumb. Gosh, he's heavy. He's real heavy, y'all. I mean, yeah, it works. It's gonna be really heavy to have, because he already is heavy, and then we're adding the entire ship on top. Like, that's gonna be a lot. Oh no, we lost the coin. I got inventive with what bricks I had. Honestly, you have to, right? And I think that's part of the fun of it too, is you have to be creative with what bricks are on hand and what ways you're able to make do with what you've got. So my goal with this is not to make people have to buy something new every month. Instead, it's really like use what you have and learn. So if your collection grows over time, that makes sense. It's likely to happen, but let's not do something that's cost prohibitive either. So, all right, lots of paper. Ooh, this is a really cool windscreen. It's a very large one. I don't know that I've seen it in that shape and that size yet. Isn't he adorable? Like, I am obsessed and I want a trio of them. I really feel like we need 3. Come on, Lego. They would never, but I would love to see them produce a set that's just the alien. Like, that would be fantastic. And Lego knows better. They know that if people want a trio, that they are bound to potentially buy 3 of the entire set, which is a little ridiculous, but is probably something that will happen. So yeah, we were talking before you joined about like, what are the ways to get the parts you would need to build him? How hard would that be? How cost efficient would it be versus actually just buying the set? And what pieces would be hard to source? And obviously, the printed eyes would be hard to source. The sticker on his torso, you could easily get sticker sheets off of Bricklink. So I don't think that'll be too bad to find, but you would need 2 more sticker sheets for that. But the eyes you'd have to source probably from Bricklink, because Lego will not be producing. I would be shocked if Lego produces those on their Pick a Brick online, because it's probably too tied to the IP. And anytime there is a part that's uniquely tied to an IP like that, they don't put it in their Pick a Brick. So I learned that on the Wicked project. They said, if there are parts that you need that you found in an IP set, we may not be able to get them for you. So you're really drawn to his ears. I think you said aura at first. I don't know why, well, because my screen is way across here. Yeah, his ears are so cute. I feel like it's super well done. Such a well created build, well sculpted build. So good job, Lego. Hey George, do you know or Bev or Missy, do you know the build prompt for this month for TechSlug? I think our meeting is this weekend, isn't it? I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday, but on Sunday we've got tickets to a show. So if that's the case, I may miss it again, which is a bummer. Right. Here we go. Oh, Fruits of Spring, that's right. Oh, Saturday meeting. Okay, good. Awesome. In that case, I think I should be able to be there. So yeah, I'll for sure bring my photos to share with you, Bev, of the gardens and whatnot. And then if I can remember, I will bring the Pokemon cards that I got in French. And maybe I'll build something before then. I don't know that I'll have time. So one thing that I have asked Lego about is with review sets, if I'm allowed to bring them to meetings and show you all, if it's before it's on store shelves, and they've told me no. And I was really bummed because I thought it'd be like a fun way for you all to interact with and see the sets in advance. But they said, no, don't do that. So if we do those types of things, they need to know well in advance. They need to be like, so like an example is like if I were to build a review set at a Lego convention, it's something that would have to be pre-approved and most likely would not be approved. So it's like, oh, that's a bummer, but I get it. So um, seed parts were bananas and pumpkins. Awesome. Yeah, I think I have the seed parts from the meeting. Need to look and see. I can't remember if we actually no. I don't think we made it to March. No, we didn't because I was just playing with Will and Ben and Bart at South by, and the meeting was on the same day as we did load-in. So yeah, that's why. Okay, that makes a lot more sense as to why none of it was ringing a bell for me. I am not great with like the email communication and stuff after meetings. So if I wasn't there and didn't hear it, I am bound to forget what is coming up. So have a release party to see new sets. Ooh, I love that. That's fun. Actually, it may not be a bad idea too, because there are release day events, or I mean, there's release day fun where people go and wait in line to get the sets and all that kind of stuff too. So, especially if it ever falls on a day that we already have our meeting, that would be a good way to or good time to bring it. Although I don't know that it ever would, because releases are usually partway through or usually at the beginning of a month. So, anyway, okay, cute. So, hidden away in this little build is two of these little guys, which I feel like is a little reference to it too. So, can't wait for Fan Fest nights at Universal. Okay, tell me more about that. What is Fan Fest nights? Um, Tell us more. You may have actually shared a little bit about this before. It sounds a little familiar, but forgive me on my memory with that one, if you've already shared it. Y'all, I also need to start working on builds for Brick Rodeo because, oh my goodness, time's already flying and it's going to continue to fly faster and faster. So Philip and I need to register our mocks and get stuff on the books, and start buying some parts if I need parts for things. Getting a little nervous. I came into this year feeling like there was more time, but then so much was connected to this trip that we had that it was like, oh, well, we've got to get ready to go. And so it was like, well, once we're back, I can start focusing on that. And hey, we're back. And oh my gosh, we're flying through April. So I am glad that it's a little bit later in the month in July because that gives a little bit more wiggle room. But yeah, an after hours event that is basically Halloween Horror Nights meets nerd conventions. Sounds both fun and a little terrifying. But I think it sounds like something that Philip would love for sure. So we went to Six Flags during their Halloween stuff, and I went through the haunted houses with Philip, and I didn't love it, but you know, I braved it, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. So I feel like a lot of times, oh, without the horror, okay, in that case, I could totally do it. That works perfectly for me. So yeah, love that idea. Then, yeah, the horror side of things is what is a drawback for me. So these parts I never know what to do with. So it's interesting when I see them in a build. I'm like, oh, that's what you do. That makes sense. Also, I don't really have an abundance of them, so I don't really have an option to build with them all that often. So, although I do need to start taking apart some review sets and parting them out into my collection so that I can make more room on the shelves. So that will give me some additional parts that are unique, like this one, or like these are from time to time. Although this will not be one that I'm taking apart. This is too cool of a build. Um, for those of you going to conventions, where are you at with building mocks? Have you already started? Have you finished? Do you have multiple mocks you're building or creating? And then also, what convention or conventions are you planning to go to? This year, we are going to fewer. Last year, we did 4, which was a lot and was really, really fun. That was a lot. So this year, we won't be able to make it to as many, in part because of the trip that we just went on. So, but rodeo is for sure on the list, and I'm trying to work out one other one. So we'll see. This year, there's a Scooby Doo and Universal Monsters crossover experience set on Little Europe, a famous location on the Universal backlot. Okay, we have to go. Hi, Zach. Good to see you. Welcome. That sounds like so much fun and would be something we would love. And we love the Universal monsters. So, Bev, your mocks are finished. Hey, good for you. Congrats. And also, because you're doing the build challenge, perhaps there will be some builds that you do between now and then that you could even add and register as additional mocks. So, um, obviously, eventually the cutoff happens for registering mocks, and that's where Philip and I need to get on registering what we know for sure we're bringing. But I always like to see what else I can come up with at the last minute that I add in. So, and these build challenges, I think last year and 2 years ago, I just registered it as like build challenge prompts. And I brought a handful of the ones that I had done for the weekly build challenge. So I plan to do the same this time around, but I'm going to do it as my monthly build challenge. And I'll have more information about how to join and participate because I see those opportunities as ways to also connect with other AFOLs that might be interested in joining. So after Brick Ready, we may have some other builders that join us, which is fun. So and a One Piece themed stunt show where Waterworld is located. Okay, that's really cool. Um, so much fun. Alongside a Sailor Moon 4D short. Okay, cool. And then Missy, I just need to order like 30 parts to finish one mock for radio. Sweet. Are you building multiple mocks or just the one? And Bev says, not renting a U-Haul to deliver my mocks. Totally fair. Same. We are not either. I do like when it's in Austin or near Austin, I suppose, this year, with it being at in Round Rock. But I like that because it's easy to take multiple trips driving back and forth. So hopefully that'll be easy to do. Nice. Oh, and a Dungeons and Dragons interactive walkthrough. That's really cool. Zach, you did not miss the deadline. It hasn't happened yet, but get on it. And also remind me to get on it. Philip and I need to register ours for about a month now. Philip has said to me just randomly, we need to register mocks. So it keeps crossing his mind. And I know that I want to be a good Brick Radio participant. And I know that it's helpful for them to know in advance what's coming. So I promise that I will soon. But yes, you should as well. So you have 4 mocks. One is a steampunk stuff. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Awesome. And I'm glad to hear that you'll do yours as well soon. So yeah, I need to just take a little bit of time and stop, pause for a minute, figure out what I'm bringing. I had planned on one other big build this year, and I don't know that it's going to happen in time for that one. So it'll still happen eventually, but I just don't know that I'm going to have the time to do it. But I have some other new things that I'll be showing that I've never shown at a show before. Um, so I'm excited. It'll be really fun. So also, that means Zach is coming to Rivio, which I know we've talked about this, but I'm so excited that you'll be here. Anybody else joining us as well? So you've got Bev and Missy and George. I'm assuming that you'll be there because you're always there when it's in for rodeo, from what I've seen so far. Yeah, we are looking forward to another fun time seeing friends again, and also to a bigger display space. It'll be neat to see what it feels like there. So, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so these connect and really, so this is going to be, I think, the front cone of the build. So we've got this shape right now, and you see that we're starting with some of those curved pieces, but then in between them, we are going to be putting in this 2x3 tile, and it is being put in there using these clips. And so these clips are going to connect to something else that snaps in to the inside. So to show you that, it is this. So we connect them to that bar. It's attached to the plate, and then that can come in and sit on those lime green studs. So that fills in that little gap, which is nice. So yay! Oh, you'll have a vendor spot too. Awesome. That's really fun. Yeah, it's going to be a really good experience. So I'm really looking forward to it. And there's usually last year we had, I want to say, 17 people for my season of Lego Masters there all together, which was really, really fun. So I'm really hoping that we get to see um, as many or close to that many come this year from our season, because it's just like a nice little reunion. And honestly, one of my favorite things about this year is getting to see John. I miss John so much. Philip and I were chatting with him last night because yesterday was the inaugural International Buffy Day. And the reason they chose the 14th, whoever made this up, the reason they chose April 14th is because that is Sarah Michelle Gellar's birthday. And John and Philip have a long-standing love of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it's actually what they connected over years ago when they met, way before I was in the picture. They had met because John was dating a friend of a friend of a friend of Philip's, and so they both like had mutual friends and all kind of connected. And then John and that person broke up, and they lost touch, but they stayed in touch a little bit through Facebook, and it was because of their mutual love of Buffy. So Philip immediately texted John and was like, happy inaugural International Buffy Day. And they were giving me a hard time for not ever seeing the show. So Philip and I watched like 7 episodes of it yesterday, or maybe 4. I think we'd already watched 3 before, but still, it was like, oh, this is the things you do for your husband. The things I have to put up with. So yay! John was so good at rodeo last year. I mean, he just like has a ball. He is so fun, and he's honestly as kind as, like, I think a lot of people first getting to know him are like, is he really this way in real life? He is. He's like a genuine, super kind, very peppy, bubbly personality, and just so fun. Such a delight. And we have such a great friendship as a result of that show, and I will forever forever be grateful for that experience. It was just so incredible. Mostly, not mostly, in huge part because of the friendship that I developed with John. So, yay! Saw Will at LA and told him that you'll see him again or that that you'll see everybody again this summer. That makes me so happy. I had a really good time just playing with Will at South by Southwest. And he was talking about getting ready for that show, and I was like, "Oh, I really wish we could go." But obviously, we had a wonderful trip to Paris, and so can't complain by any means. But yeah, I was very happy and a little jealous of those of y'all that got to go to California. So that'll have to be in the future for us. Let's see. What else do we got? So great seeing most of your season last year at Rodeo. That makes me so happy to hear. Yeah, really, really good people. Like I truthfully, I am friends with everyone from our cast, and I'm so excited that we still have that friendship around. Crystal Starr was so much fun too. Absolutely agree. I was starstruck when I met her, and she's so fun and so kind, and like welcomed us into the Lego Masters world and family really easily, and just yeah, so sweet. She was so stoked when she got the glow in the dark brick uh, and chain from you. Yes, she was. I remember her being thrilled about it, and I think Philip and I were wearing the ones that you gave us, that were like the rainbowy colors, and she was like, "These are so cool," and I was like, "I know." She was really thrilled. My memory's terrible. Do you know if Krista, Marcella's partner, was at rodeo last year? She was, and because I was really excited that she came. Marcella had come the year before, and had actually helped round up others to say, "You all need to come. It's really cool." And so she got Krista to come, which was really cool. And the first time that got to see Krista after we filmed was at her convention. Well, kind of at Brick Fair, Virginia. So yeah, really, really cool experience. I just realized I kind of like stopped building and just was, or maybe I was building and I wasn't even aware that I was. I think that was what was happening. Y'all, I'm all over the place right now. Here is the start of our ship, and this is really freaking cool. This also would make a very perfect baby bottle for the top of it if you recolored it a little bit. But yeah, this is really neat. I like the inside sticker piece that's being used there. As like a little pizza game that you're playing on the inside, and just really fun. So cool. Um, but yeah, I really hope they both come. I think they both are scheduled. Well, actually, I think Marcella for sure is scheduled to come. John will be there. I think all the Texas crew. So John, Joe, Anthony, um, me, Ian, and Sage, um, of course. And then I don't think of who else might be coming. I don't think Nick or Kendall will be there because Kendall's getting married later in the year. So I'm sure that she's focused on that. Um, and I don't think they traveled last year for that. They traveled just for Utah. Um, Luke and Ann came last year, but I don't think they will this year. I'm not sure. I don't know. I need to check with them. So, also, hey, how's it going? Yay, good stuff. We doing this live. That's right. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We are building this incredible set. So this one comes out May 1st. And I get to build all three of the Toy Story ones this week. So this one's today. Tomorrow will be Lotso. And on Friday, and probably starting tomorrow, I will build the Bookend set, which I'm not going to reach over and grab because it's heavy. But yeah, it's a fun Toy Story week, which is cool. So, yeah, Marcella and I volunteered together at Rodeo before she got on the show. Then last year, I congratulated her. I just didn't have a chance to get to know Krista. Awesome. Yeah, it was so fun to have Marcella and Maya at Rodeo that year because we all anticipated our season would already be on. And they chose to wait another year. So we had to just pretend like we were just meeting Marcella and Maya for the first time there. So you might have another stream tomorrow. Yes, I will have another stream the next 2 days. My plan is to do probably 1:30 for both of those as well. Just helps when I'm doing multiple in a week to delay them a little bit. Typically, I try to do 1 o'clock for my streams, I think. But yeah, gonna be doing 1:30 the next 2 days. So yeah, but it's Toy Story week. It's fun to get to build through these, which is good. So yeah, really, really looking forward to having them all collected together on a bookshelf that we cleared off specifically for these sets. And we will probably be putting the Pixar lamp, um, Luxo lamp beside it as well. So where's this part? We might have another part that got stuck in the bag. Let's see. Well, let me double check. I don't know where it is. Okay, well, actually, I think I was doing two of these, and I don't think I need two of these. Maybe that's the problem. Or no, yeah, I'll need this part next. Okay, well, we'll figure this out. Um, Thank you so much, Real JC Studs. I really appreciate that. We had the most fun. We were just talking about how wonderful of a community and family that we built through the show. I love all those folks so much and am so excited to see many of them coming up this summer at Brick Rodeo, our Lego convention. So, yeah, if you're in or around Texas, would love to have you come. And if you're not, you're also welcome to still come. We have a lot of fun here, and a lot of people on the feed actually go regularly to rodeo as well. So, but thank you for your kind words, and thanks for joining today too. So, yeah, I'm building all week long this week on live streams every afternoon, and going through these really fun Toy Story sets. So yeah, let's see. I do know, unfortunately, Krista can't make it to rodeo this year. Oh, bummer. Um, Though she said if plans change, she could decide to come at the last minute. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I need to, in general, I just need to ping our group chat again because it's been a while since I've been active in there. And in general, it kind of like dissipates over time. You know, that happens with most group chats. So I need to ping in there again and say, hi, everyone. Who's going to what conventions? Who will I see where? So, um, we really wanted to make Cascade go this year, but we couldn't make it work with our Paris trip, and so I was bummed. But I think that'll be on the list for next year, hopefully. So the other thing is potentially for this year, if I go to other conventions, I might go solo. It may not be with Philip. We have to figure out budget wise if we can afford it, as well as work wise if he can get away from work during that time. So not exactly sure what's going to happen. So, but yes, I think Marcella also told me she was coming, if I'm not mistaken. So she had a really good time last time and or last 2 years, and wanted to make this kind of like a home convention for her too. So it'll be great to see her nonetheless. And if I get a chance to see Krista, then that'd be great too. So really, really good people all around with our season. Now, this is so fun. Thank you for joining. I love getting to build alongside y'all and share the fun of this Lego community with y'all. So, if you haven't heard of the Build Challenge, I will talk about it. So, monthly, I do a build challenge where I do a tutorial video and I teach people how to build something cool. And then you have to build that into your build for that month. So for April, the due date is today, but if you want to still build and submit it anytime between now and next week, I'll still support you doing that. But the tutorial was to build a mini lander. So a mini lander is the size of a character that you see when you go to Legoland. So if you've ever been to Legoland, they always have a mini land, which is an area that has all these really cool towers and buildings and everything from around the world. So, like the Eiffel Tower, the Empire State Building, all those different types of things. And their scale is specific to make those, I think it's 1 to 10 or 1 to 12. Or maybe 1 to 20, 1 to 18. I can't remember. That's total lie. I don't remember the scale, but the scale is specific for it. And at some point, they designed mini landers, which are characters that fit within those as well. Thank you, Zach. I really appreciate that. So I did a tutorial video on how to build one. And here's a sample of one that I built in the past. So this is me in a buffalo check shirt. I gave him eyes, or actually I gave him glasses because I wear glasses. And he's got some purple hair in there too. And this one is actually in movement, so he's actually moving. But the tutorial that I did taught you how to build one that's just kind of standing straight up. And the idea was learn how to build a mini lander, and then for your build prompt, build a mini lander doing some kind of activity. So build a scene with a mini lander doing an activity. So if you're up for the challenge and you haven't created yours yet, feel free to still do it. Technically, the due date was today, or is by end of day today. But again, I am fine with you still submitting it after the fact. There's no penalty for that. I just have to have some kind of due date so that I have something to help me with my cadence of releasing a new tutorial each month and that kind of thing. So yeah, feel free to do that. I share the tutorial videos here as well as on Instagram, and you can submit your builds on Instagram or you can submit them through my Discord channel if you want to do Discord instead. So, all right, we are building 3 of these little wings. What would you call that? Stands, feet for the rocket ship, something like that. I don't know what you'd call that, but we're building 3 of those to go on the underside. And what'll be fun is to see. Oh, okay. I was going to say it'll be fun to see how they split it into thirds, but they actually don't. They still keep it in fourths here. So and we're only building 3 of the 4 legs for it. So that's kind of a bummer. I would have liked to have seen them do it in thirds, but that's okay. I actually don't even know if it would have been in thirds in the movie. In my head it is, but who knows? So going to try doing it, but you have 2 other build challenges you got to do for your local lugs. That's fair. The highlight video is good direction or motivation. Awesome. For sure. So yeah, feel free to participate and share it whenever you want to. If it's way after the fact, still share it, still include the hashtag and tag me in it so I can see it. I love to see what people come up with that, and I also love getting to share it so that others can then see it and comment on each other's builds and that kind of stuff too. So let's see. Finn, that's okay. I saw Finn and I was like finish, like the end, Elfin. But no, what you meant was that's the fin of the rocket ship, which it absolutely is. Thank you for that. One thing I love about our little community here is how much you help me remember things, like words that I can't think of. But also, you get an inside glimpse into the fact that I really struggle with my memory on stuff. So, that's scary sometimes. But okay, here are the 3 fins. So, like I said, they divided into fourths and they only put 3 fins on. I kind of would have liked for them to be one down this way and one down this way so that it was 1, 2, 3. But that's more complicated geometry with Lego building. So it's not a surprise that they're doing it this way. And also, this might work better with how it mounts to the whole larger piece. So that could make sense too. So, rocket fin, yes. He's a rocket fin. I love Elton John. Okay, so we're using a gray bucket for the jet propulsion area, which is fun. Ooh, and we're getting some shiny little discs, radar discs here that are going to go on this build too. And then we're getting this puff of water smoke or whatnot, which I've seen in blue and I've seen it in orange as well, in trans blue and trans orange. I like that it's trans blue here because it feels fun and space-like to me without it feeling like violent and scary. All right, this is going to attach on here on the back, maybe. We'll see. It's supposed to. What's going on? Here we go. Ta-da! And interestingly, I don't like that you can see underneath that all those Technic parts still sticking through. So that's one very minor complaint I have. I don't really have big complaints with these sets, but one little thing is I think they could have maybe improved that a little bit. But you may not even see it all that much once it's actually mounted. So it may be a non-issue. Right. And then here we will continue with. Looks like these are the side walls that'll have the Pizza Planet stickers on them. So that's cool. Pizza Planet. Yep, here we go. So we're getting 2 big things. two big tiles that'll be used for the Pizza Planet logo. Let me put those stickers on. And then we're done with stickers for this set, which is nice. Okay. I always like to use my brick separator when I'm doing stickers. All right. Yay, that is so sleek. The font is perfect. Good job, design team. I love the graphic designers at Lego. They do a really, really good job on printed parts and stickered parts, for sure. How are you liking this build? Toy Story seems like a good choice to do sets for, meaning I think everyone has at least seen one Toy Story movie, and overall, most people like. Yes, I think it's a very smart franchise for them to add more sets to. I love that this set is nostalgic from the first film. However, anybody knows the aliens and anybody knows Pizza Planet if they've even watched one of the movies, right? So it was a universally smart decision, I think, for this specific build choice. And I think that the Slinky dog, being a character that's been in all the movies so far, also was a good choice too, and is just a unique and interesting build idea to have to build all those like spirals and such. So I'm a big fan. I loved Toy Story. It was very nostalgic for me as a kid, and so I think that I have a big space in my heart for it anyway. And was thrilled when I got the offer for reviewing these sets because I knew that regardless of what the builds were, that I was going to love them because they're Toy Story. So I think it was a really smart choice. Okay, y'all, look, that completes the kind of barrel shape that our little friend can sit in. And then here's the other side. I'm going to cover that up with another wall here in just a minute. I think this pizza slice just like sits there. I don't know if it like actually goes as a part of the build, which is interesting. So it's a kiddie ride at an arcade. Most of those have exposed elements. Totally, right? So yeah, not a surprise there at all with the way that it's all built. Um, I just more like through my lens, it would have just been fun to see how they dealt with the challenge of having to do the um try like the three-way excuse me, split of those fins, just because it's a fun math challenge. So I don't think it looks bad by any means without that one. I think it's fine without that one, but I just like to see like when you have a creative math challenge like that, what is the approach to fixing it? And then part of that too is those are the types of things that I build into my build challenges with y'all. It's like, oh, this is something I learned from a set, and there's got to be other ways to do it, and it like can help you with other types of build challenges or things, or other types of build problems you might run into. So let's just think about it. Yes, this is the May 1st release date. So this one. Um, Lotso and the Bookends all come out May 1st. There's another one on the Lego website that's like a minifigure version train car type thing, type setup that also I think comes out at that same time. So I think it's these four, and yeah, I believe all are May 1st. So I don't have that other train car one, which I was kind of bummed because it comes with a brick built little spaceship box that buzzes in from the movies when you buy them at the store, and I just thought that was so perfect. All right, last piece. This shiny, uh, somewhat is it transparent? I guess not really transparent, somewhat transparent, shiny part. Oh, and I did it backwards, y'all. I did it backwards. This I was looking at the instructions for the left side, so I need to rebuild this real quick. Let me take that off. It's not too much of a rebuild. I just have to move the logo down and put this here. There we go. Now that'll fit over here on this side. Okay. So cool. All right, y'all. Let's get this snapped on. Okay, here we go. So nice. Very, very beautifully shaped. I love the front. The front, I think, is the best part of this build. The fins are also very well shaped too. I think that was really well done. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen them in thirds as opposed to in fourths, but minor, minor complaint. And I love that this is all set up to be a kiddie ride. So this attaches very simply onto the studs here on the light bluish gray. And it's also, I like the way that they did this because it should be relatively easy to remove. Yeah, you can still remove it pretty easy. I did lose one part when I did that, so let me put it back on. But by doing it to where it attaches only to those 8 studs, that makes it a little easy to remove if you want to, for display purposes or other things. But yeah, and then it moves up and down really well. Very smooth ride. So, and then the picture is actually showing him holding the pizza. So I'm going to see if I can do that. But let's first see about what happens when we put him inside. So he fits in perfectly. That adds a lot of weight, of course. Where's the handle? There's the handle. But y'all, that's impressive. So if you slap a remote, not a remote, if you slap a motor on the side of this thing could move very quickly, which is fun, but also move very smoothly. Like I think there's multiple different ways to do this effect. The way that we're doing it on here is using look at straight through the middle, but we're using, see how it's like a round wheel that pops up. Using that round wheel makes for a very smooth motion. Let me see if I can show you better. There we go, from the side. So makes for very smooth motion. And it can go backwards or forwards, and it still has basically the same motion, which is nice. Um, so yeah, super cute. And then our little alien friend, his head, he can articulate his head up and down. He can turn it left and right. He can also do all the way around, if he's having an exorcism. But yeah, that's nice that that can spin. The arms can go up and down. The feet can go left and right a little bit, kind of at the ankles. He can't effectively hold the pizza slice. There are no studs that let him actually hold it. So in the picture where they show him holding it, it's more just balanced there than anything, which is fine. Minor complaint, not a huge deal. But I do think that that's something that felt like it's a cute little add-on. It feels like it needs a little bit more purpose to it. But love this. I think the shape of all of this is really fantastic. So we are done with one of 3 major toy store builds for this week. Like I said, I'm going to continue tomorrow with Lotso. So to give you a sense of comparison, this set today was 714 pieces. Lotso is 570 pieces. So I believe I will get through all of Lotso tomorrow, and then we will get a start on the bookends. So let me just show you the bookends real quick. Oh my goodness. This is so fun to me because, well, for so many reasons, but one is you get to build it as bookends where books could go between those 2 books, but there are multiple displays with this. So you can also attach Slinky Dog to be a complete build and have him standing on the books. And then you see here in that middle picture here, how it's being used as bookends. So I'm loving this approach, and thinking this is a really nice build with lots of variety in the way that you can display it. If you look, there's also storage drawers to hide away Woody and Slinky. And I'm going to flip it around so you can have a better picture of the Slinky minifigure. Like that is just so cool. I'm curious. We'll find out tomorrow how many parts it comes in. I'm guessing that it could be all one piece, but I'm guessing the tail is separate. Maybe the spring is separate. Maybe the head is separate. We will find out tomorrow. But this is really, really beautiful. And I love the colors they chose for the books. I thought that was smart. I think they could have, if they wanted to, gone with more of the red, yellow, blue classic colors as well. But I think this purple and teal is a nice change. And fun details. This book that's teal says tin toy, and this book that's purple says knick-knack. So if you want to have a little bit of fun on the history and lore of Pixar, um, Google or do a search for maybe even in Disney Plus. If you do a search for Tin Toy and Knick Knack, you will find two Pixar shorts that are really, really adorable. So fun little nods to Pixar past. It looks like we're going to have some stickered parts in this one. It doesn't look like they're printed parts, which is fine. Um, and yeah, at least the eyes are printed, so that's good. So there's that one. And then let's just take a quick look at Lotso. He's got some good posability. He can also sit, which I love that he can both sit and stand. And I also love that he has his little cane that he can also use potentially as a weapon because he's maybe a little evil teddy bear. I think he is adorable. I'm very, very excited that we got him. And take a look at what they did with the eyebrows. So you can switch the eyebrows to be happy or angry. So I think this one will be a lot of fun and we'll have a lot of nice posability. So yeah, tomorrow we will do this again, 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So whatever time zone yours is, that's when you can join me again tomorrow. If you subscribe, you'll see the notice that it's coming up soon. Thank you all so much for joining, for asking great questions and chatting throughout the day. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing your builds as you. Oh, hi Ben. No worries. It's good to see you though. It's adorable. Look, just for Ben's like just check this out. I mean, I'm obsessed. It's so cute. And I think that everybody needs three of these. They're just adorable and they need to be a trio, right? I feel like that's necessary. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Central Time. We will do Lotso, and we'll probably get a start on the bookends. And then Friday, also 1:30 p.m. to continue the bookends. All right, build kindness, y'all.